This week on the 01581, an update from the town clerk's office and a conversation about eco-foodieism. Wondering what that is? Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi and welcome back. I'm joined by our first guests, Debbie Ledoux and Kevin Mclaughlin. And welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so you guys are part of the town clerk team department,
we are,
right? Not represented here is your colleague Susan Bush,
yes,
right?
Right.
Debbie, you've been in the office for a long time, right?
Yes.
But you're in a new role, so tell us about that.
I am. So I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out for the March election. It was a snowy day. I know all the candidates appreciated it. I am new in the position. I served as your assistant town clerk for almost 9 years before that. I did quite different things than the town clerk does. I was mostly focused on vital records, voter registrations in that position. Now I'm turning back over to more the elections, town meeting, attorney general filings and that type of thing. So it's a pretty big learning curve, but I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah. And you've been in Westboro a long time, right?
I've been here for 50 years.
Yes,
this
well, we
year,
won't give away your
so.
age, right.
Yeah, I've
but
been here a long
so
time.
Westboro High School graduate, grew up, your parents lived here,
Yeah.
you know, your mom's still,
My mom's still here
Yep,
in
absolutely.
the house I grew up in. So,
Yeah,
a lot of town pride.
Excellent. And Kevin, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so Kevin, you are the?
Assistant town clerk, yep. This is my third week on the job. I actually started in the town of Wayland and then moved to the city of Marlborough. And now I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, and third week on the job and you're already on TV. I mean,
You're right.
I mean, this is like this is a record, right? There's some people in the town departments that are going to be like, wait a second, how does the guy, how does the new guy get on there?
I know.
So the town clerk's office performs a lot of essential functions, and honestly, I don't know that, until you sort of interact with the town clerk's office, that you necessarily understand, like, why would I go there? So
Right.
you have a couple updates I know you want to share with our viewers. So what are those important updates?
So I thought I would just mention the town census. Sometimes there's some confusion around it. We do have a federal census. We also have a town one.
Okay.
The town census goes out. It's mandated every year after January 1st. Part of the reason for the town census is to keep our voting lists active. It serves as the jury list. It also is helpful for our public safety divisions, knowing who's in town. It also projects school enrollment for kids who are coming up toward kindergarten age.
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
so it's important to get them back. If census forms don't get returned, voter registrations do become inactive.
Okay.
So it does hold up voters when they go to vote, especially going into a presidential year. It's important to return them, even if they haven't done it yet, to do it now, and we'll update them in our system.
And how would someone have received a mailing? How would they know what they're supposed? Was it a mailing?
So it's a mailing. It goes out every January.
Okay.
It comes in one of those windowed envelopes.
Okay.
They're supposed to be returned within 10 days, but if they're not, return them anytime and we'll update the household.
Okay, and if someone is sitting at home listening to our show going, oh no, I can't find that, can they come in?
They can come into our office,
Okay.
talk to us, give us a call on the phone, and we can always send another form out.
Okay,
Yes.
and at the conclusion of this segment of the show, we'll have all the town clerk's office information,
Perfect.
office hours and all that, so folks can, kind of tune in there.
Okay.
What else?
So in the town census was the dog licensing form. So dog licensing happens every year between January 1st and March 31st.
Okay.
The purpose of dog licensing, mainly it's a mass general law, is to track all dogs in our community to make sure they're licensed against rabies. It also serves as a tool for our animal control officer to use if she finds a dog. She has a tag number that links to the owner, phone number, contact information. So when a dog is found and our office is called, we're able to give the person the dog's name to help make the dog feel better that someone knows who they are, and to get in touch with the owner as soon as possible.
Right. Because contrary to popular opinion, not every dog is Fido or Fifi, right?
Correct,
Right,
yes.
right.
Yeah.
So get those get those license forms in, because there is a late fee that can be applied, and by law the animal control officer has to issue citations.
She does,
Yep.
and she'll be starting citations next month.
Yep.
You know, let us know if there's any hardships in the family with
Sure.
licensing.
Yep.
Dog licensing is also no charge for disabled veterans and over 70 years old too. So,
Excellent.
and we're happy to work with all the residents.
Yeah, good,
The
yeah.
goal is to get the dogs licensed.
Yeah, it's for the dog safety and the public safety.
And the public
Yep.
safety and just following the law. So our
Excellent.
animal control officer is wonderful,
Yeah.
and she takes her job seriously.
Yes,
So yeah,
absolutely. And she does find dogs where, it's like if they're not licensed, then that creates more of a challenge.
it sure does. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you mentioned 2024, big election year.
It's a big election year. We have 4 elections next year, one being the
Wow.
town election, then we have the presidential election November. Obviously, we've got the presidential or state primary in September, and the presidential primary in, the presidential primary in March.
Yep.
So we've got 4 elections next year. We're not sure yet what the election, as far as voting, early voting in person, is going to look like. Kevin and I have a conference this week that we're going to, so we'll learn more as the year goes on, and we'll make sure that's posted on our website.
Great, yeah, and like I mentioned, we'll have your town information, the department information on the, following this segment, and so folks
Yeah,
can
perfect.
tune into that webpage.
And people can call anytime.
Right.
We're always happy to answer questions.
Right.
No one should hesitate ever to call our office.
Right, because
Yeah.
there's always, there tends to be maybe a little confusion with like early voting, early in-person voting,
Yeah.
mail-in voting, so all of that, all
It's a
those
lot.
details are forthcoming.
They're forthcoming.
Yeah.
And we're going to reach out to also our different complexes in town, the Willows, the Highlands, get the word out there,
Great.
Westboro Nursing Home, and we'll be going around.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Kevin, what brought you to this line of work? Curious to know. Like, what do you like about it?
I was actually in the hospitality industry before this, and
Okay.
it just really wasn't for me. I
Yep.
always knew I liked working with people, but the exchange and the hospitality industry was always kind of too quick for me.
Yeah.
And I really like the relationships I form here with town residents and the people I work with. So that's kind of what got me into it. I actually left the hospitality industry and started working, believe it or not, as a seasonal in conservation for the town of Wayland.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah.
So you kind of dipped your foot into kind of the municipal side. And
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
And it stuck.
yeah, well, and you are providing essential services that are so critical to kind of the structure and the organization of our town businesses and residents. So thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Excellent. Well, thank you for being our guest. Welcome back anytime. Of course, you might have to wrestle Christy out of the seat because she's the regular guest, but
Yeah.
no problem.
She's a tough act to follow.
Excellent.
So thank you for
Excellent.
having us.
Well, again,
Thank you for
welcome,
having
Kevin.
us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And we'll be right back with our next guest on the 01581. Hi, and welcome back. I'm joined by our key guest today, Ben Sagerian. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Eco-Foodie Adventures.
Yes,
Until I met you, I didn't know what that was. So what is it?
that is a great question.
Yeah.
The Eco-Foodie Adventures is a program designed for middle school age students here in Westboro at Nourse Farm.
Yeah, cool. So, and what's your connection to it? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course, so I am a current student at Tufts University. I'm studying food systems and nutrition as part of my curriculum. So this is something that I've been interested in for a while, is looking at how environmental science and agriculture and food systems are all intertwined.
Very interesting. Wow. Okay. And so this is a program that is being offered sort of collaboratively between Nourse Farm and the Westboro Recreation Department. A little bit more about kind of the age groups and what are the youth going to be doing during the camps, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's designed for 5th or 8th grade students entering those years.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to be doing a 5-day program. It's going to be super fun. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
The first day is agriculture themed. So we look at growing plants, what goes into growing plants, whether it's soil testing, and I actually brought some of my test kits here.
Okay.
We test for nitrogen, pH, phosphorus, and potassium,
Okay.
which are 4 key things when looking at how plants can grow in our soil.
Okay.
So we'll do some soil testing. We'll also be planting some gardens,
Yeah.
including a take-home pizza garden. And I don't know about you, but I'm a pizza fan.
I love pizza, absolutely. Who doesn't?
Right?
Isn't that a food group?
I wish it was a food
Yeah.
group. If it was, I'd be on track to get that almost every week
Right,
at least.
right.
Yeah. And then the second day will be environmental science,
Okay.
where we look at biodiversity and greenhouse gases in the climate crisis in our
Interesting.
world. And on both of those first 2 days, we also touch on pollinators, which is
Oh.
a big topic right now
Yeah.
as people are starting to keep their own bees more often, and we see bees floating around throughout town.
And this year I saw more than ever no mo may
Yes.
no mo whatever it was
Yes,
called.
yeah.
I didn't say that right, but the signs so people let their lawns grow because evidently May is a key pollinator season. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
Okay.
And we see a lot of honeybees in this area, but what I don't think people always realize is honeybees aren't native. So in this
Really?
program, we're going to look at honeybees because they're very important for agricultural
Okay.
purposes,
Yep.
but also the bumblebee, which is a native species
Okay.
and is kind of in decline. Some of the different bumblebees are in decline right now.
Really?
So that's
Okay.
what we're going to be really trying to
Interesting.
focus on.
Okay, excellent. Well, it's too bad this is just 5th through 8th grade because there are probably a lot of adults that could benefit. So maybe that's Eco-Foodie 2 next year.
That could be.
You can share
yes.
that back with Catherine.
Absolutely.
All right. And so I think we touched on 3 days. So is there a 4th day? Or
So,
5th day?
so the third is nutrition.
Okay,
That's the
okay,
third day.
okay.
Yeah. And so we talk about food groups and some key nutrients for growing and developing bodies.
Excellent.
And then the 4th day is food prep, where we take what we've learned and we make some food and we do some cooking, as well as
Awesome.
some pick your own berries too.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so sounds like very hands-on for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they'll get a little bit dirty, which is good. I mean,
Definitely.
My happy place is when my hands are in the dirt, and it's just the more I can do that, the more it is kind of relaxing. And I don't think it's an experience that a lot of kids necessarily have until maybe kind of later in life. I mean, some do, but many don't. While we're historically an agricultural community, that's not kind of where we are today.
Exactly, and that was kind of my main motivation behind this program, was I'm studying these things really for the first time in college.
Yeah.
I've worked at Nourse Farm. I worked there for 6 years, so
Okay.
I learned a lot in that process, and that probably inspired me on the track that I'm on, but I wanted to take what I've learned and make sure that students of a younger age have the opportunity to learn it as well.
So how did the curriculum come about?
So Catherine Nourse, who owns Veg Out at Nourse Farm, which is a delicious vegan and vegetarian food truck. Have you been?
I have several times.
It is to
and
die for.
It is delicious.
Yes.
And the hours they're open now.
They're
right?
open. They're
Yep.
open Thursdays through Saturdays.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they are open, and we kind of approached each other last summer
Mm-hmm.
to start thinking about this, and we started developing the curriculum in January, and we worked on it all the way through now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're still finalizing
Sure.
it, but we feel ready to go, and
Excellent.
yeah, it's been a really fun process.
And are there multiple sessions being offered through the summer?
There are. So right now we have 3 sessions scheduled.
Okay.
The first session is the last week of June, so June 26th.
Okay, so just right after the kids get out
Right
of
after
school?
the kids
Yeah,
get out of
excellent.
school.
Okay.
The second session is July 10th that
Okay.
week, and then the last is the week of July 24th, so the last week in July.
Excellent, excellent. So, what a great way for kids to connect with their own, kind of eating experience with the earth, with things that they're also talking about in school, right?
Exactly, yeah. Catherine and I got the opportunity to speak to some Mill Pond School students a couple weeks ago.
Great.
And it was incredible to see the things that they do, those 6th graders, what they do in their classroom.
Yeah.
With the sustainable development goals and
Yeah.
their environmental squad. I'm sorry,
Yes,
the name is
yeah,
slipping my mind.
yeah,
but,
yeah, absolutely.
So hope that this would be of interest to them too, but they already know a lot.
Yeah,
You know, they might be
yeah.
able to bring their own expertise.
Well, it's so great to be able to kind of like take the classroom, so to speak, outside, right? So be hands-on,
Exactly.
fresh air, and sounds like a great program. So we will have information at the as we conclude the show on how to register and for questions and information. Anything else you want to let our viewers know about?
I would love to tell you about that last day because it is pretty
Okay.
special. That last day, we're calling it kind of a choose your own adventure day.
Okay.
And students will be able to create and develop a recipe throughout the week that they really like. And that last day in a group, they cook the recipe, they shop for all the food,
Awesome.
they do all the work themselves,
Excellent.
and then they get to market it and
Oh.
kind of use what they've learned in the 4 different days
Oh.
to promote their product.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and then the parents will be able to come and try the food too.
Excellent.
which is
Well,
pretty
who
fun.
knows? Some of these could be recipes that they find on Veg Out, right?
That's
that the rest
right.
of the public can
Absolutely.
enjoy. Wow. Well, I'm just sad that I'm not in 5th to 8th grade, but I certainly will visit Veg Out. I would encourage the public to do so as well. Right at Nourse Farm, there are places to sit. It's a beautiful, bucolic setting. I know that there's berry picking going on, just started
Strawberry
right now.
season.
Strawberry season. So if you'd like to learn more about Eco-Foodie Adventures, hang out with the awesome Ben here and Catherine and learn more about nutrition, sustainability, agriculture. Eco-Foodie Adventures is just the thing for your 5th to 8th graders. So check it out on Westboro Recreation, and thank you so much for being part of this episode of the 01581 Let's Talk.